Up next is Dr. Jamie Meyer on to prepare us for the second annual High Performance Expo this June in Charlotte, North Carolina. The inaugural event was a success last year. It had the original goal of bringing the racing world and the aftermarket world together in one hot spot in Race City, USA. Well, this is year number 2. We're going to see what will stay the same, what will change, what will get bigger, what will go away. Doc, welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Rob. We're starting early today, so thanks for getting my day kicked off the right way, talking about muscle cars and cool stuff. So thank you.
In general, the older I get, the better it is to start early. Because
we're on the same team.
After 7, 8 o'clock at night, there's no brain juice left. It's all mush.
I'm getting your best right now, is what you're saying. I get your best. That's good. Okay.
Well, sure. Yes. Dr. Jamie, if you could, you're a famous name in our industry, but can you remind people who you are and why they've known you for the last 25 years?
Yeah. Geez, I don't think about it that much anymore, but right now I'm an industry consultant. I've got several clients in the industry. One of my favorite projects is the High Performance Expo, what we're going to talk about. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in the cars since I was a kid. People know me from announcing their favorite drag races through the 90s and 2000s. They know me for 15 years at General Motors, where I did cool stuff like LSX engines and launched the Copo Camaro and helped the Stingray Camaro Silverado team own some Cadillac V's in there too. I went on to be the first president of PRI, the Performance Racing Industry Show and Media Empire. And I've been a consultant after some private equity work. And I got cool stuff going on with companies like Badass Broncos and Fox Factory and the High Performance Expo.
And when I say Dr. Jamie, I mean doctor. Like you have a doctorate. You are an educated man. What is your doctorate in?
I have a PhD in anatomy and cell biology, and I did a 8-year postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Cincinnati after I got my PhD in Syracuse. Go Orange! And I used to design cardiovascular drugs and teach medical school, but that's in my past. Cars are still with me. You know that, Rob. So
I know that 100%, but it's interesting. Everybody has a story and a path. I don't hear yours very much, though. And I'm curious. And as we discuss the High Performance Expo, which is it's a paradigm change in our world, you personally had a paradigm change. Something in your mind and your heart and your world decided, I'm going to pivot and just do something else. What was it? Was it instant, Jamie? Was it organic? Was it told to you? Why the career change? Because I don't know anyone that's ended up pioneering a segment in the automotive industry that didn't start on that path, from the get-go.
Well, I think it'll be just like you and your son and your listeners, right? That I just have this deep passion for the automobile and the lifestyle and the people. Drag racing, street performance is just the most cool thing in the world to me. I still do it. I was at the Street Car Takeover this past weekend in Atlanta. I still want to be around the latest, greatest, fastest, coolest cars that I can be around. For my career change, I was teaching med school. I was doing very advanced research in an ion transporter lab, working on transgenic animals, working with electron microscopes. But on the weekends, I was announcing drag races, and nights until 2 or 3 in the morning, I was writing car magazine articles. And I eventually just kept sliding. My weekends got longer and my nights got later, and I just kept doing more and more car stuff. And eventually I made the jump. In 2006, I got offered an amazing opportunity to go work at GM Performance Parts, and loved it. And I've loved it ever since. So for folks out there dreaming about being a car guy or a car gal, and they want to figure out how to make a living in this industry, you can do it. You don't have to be a pro driver. You don't have to be a high-end engineer, Rob. You can be a great marketing person. You can go be a technician at a dealership, and you can make an amazing living in this industry.
I'm curious, were any of your friends surprised when you made the leap, or did they see it coming? Like, oh, yep, he's gone. Yep, we knew it.
I think my science friends were surprised. They knew I did the car stuff on the weekends. My car guys wondered what took so long because I was with them. You know how it is. Like this, when you do something you really love, that's the community you want to be around. And if I had any good advice, and I know my 25-year-old nephews are listening right now, all 5 of them, I tell them all the time, you got to do what you love and be around people that really want to be around you and do the same thing. So the car industry has a lot of opportunities like that right now.
I agree. And if in your heart of hearts, you know that's the industry you should be in, when everybody else is telling you, but you need a real job. That's pretend. Sometimes they're wrong and you're right. You do have to follow your path here. So let's talk about what's right. High Performance Expo was something, I think in 2024, you started putting some feelers out about, and I was lucky enough to be one of the people that you discussed it with. And you said, we're probably going to do this. And it's a trade show, sort of in the lane of things that we've seen before, but sort of not. And it's in the summer, which is odd. And it's in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is cool. How did the original High Performance Expo, last summer was how did it hold to the original vision? The original vision was a place where the racing world and the aftermarket combined. What worked there?
Yeah, I think that's a profound question because it's a theory until you do it, which is true about every science experiment, if you will, Rob, right? So HPX will become what it'll become. It'll be a reflection of the automotive aftermarket industry. We've invited the key people to be there and be a part of it. A lot of folks are watching. You can't say the entire industry is watching, but for this conversation, the entire industry is watching this experiment. It was started with the right reason, the right intent, meaning the East Coast is underserved from a trade show perspective. These areas have the bulk of the population in the United States. They have the bulk of the racing in the United States.
That's for sure.
And there are a lot of companies that are critical for the automotive aftermarket industry. And this includes new vehicle manufacturers that all have accessories and performance parts groups. This includes all dealers that go to market with special editions on their floor. I mean, you and I have seen these through the years. And then as well as the manufacturers of all the race parts and accessories and the cool bits that you can put on a car and a truck. Don't forget the largest segment, all of my off-road and overlanding friends. So that's how we went to market. The show was very reflective of it. Being in Charlotte, you've got this huge cultural advantage. It's led by the North Carolina Motorsports Association. You know those folks well now after coming to HPX #1. But this organization started by Rick Hendrick and Richard Petty. Now the chairman is Scott Lampe, the CFO from the Hendrick organization. Greg Fernelli and other key players are on this board. They wanted a trade show. They wanted to showcase what North Carolina and that region of the world could do for the auto industry. Rick Hendrick owns 132 dealerships, just as an aside. So there's heavy dealer input into the show. But the show held up very well. The folks that were there did a lot of business, and we're really excited to ramp it up for year number 2, Rob.
As I recall, there was. I'm going to give you some credit here. I had expectations at a certain level. This was not the event that I expected at all. I mean this in a good way. It was good, and I mean that in all honesty. When you go to a first year event, you typically have a low bar, and at least I do. I've gone to several that man, they weren't prepared. This was above and beyond what I could have dreamed. The keynote sessions were real leaders of industry. The venue itself very professional. If you showed up with a resume and were seeking a job, you probably left with one. You could have left with a job working for Cadillac F1 if you showed up at that trade show. They were just standing there, talking to anyone that would like to. That's what was there and available. So I hope you take this with the credit I'm giving here. It's a compliment that I
For sure.
underestimated
Thank you.
what the value would be. I assume it will be larger this year. I'm guessing. Now, is the same venue still at the Trade Center or the Charlotte Convention Center? Same place?
Yep. Downtown in Charlotte, June 2, 3, 4 at the Charlotte Convention Center. Yeah, it's a great venue. You know that. So,
who will be the keynote speakers?
Well, look, we had the Hendrick organization kick things off year one. They will be back, and in several ways, right? We have a women empowerment program, and this is for the female executives in the auto industry. Alba Cologne will be there. Alba is the mastermind of the Hendrick NASCAR team strategy. She's a brilliant engineer. She happened to be my next door neighbor at the Rensen when we both worked for Chevrolet. Jeff Andrews will come in. He's going to be speaking about what it takes to be a winner. He's the president of Hendrick Motorsports and is certainly in a position to talk about what it takes to win in this industry. We'll have Scott Lampe on stage, the CFO. He'll be given a financial outlook. What does the second half of 2026 look like from his perspective? So if you're a female executive, if you're a business owner, if you're someone that is trying to figure out what all of the chaos in the world means for your small business or big business, we're going to put key leaders on stage, let them speak, ask them some key questions, but then you get time with them. In a live event like this, Rob, we've got to remind our listeners, this is a chance to have a face-to-face interaction with an executive that can change your path for your company, for yourself personally, and move the entire industry, right? The goal of HPX is to lift the entire automotive aftermarket industry, an incremental improvement in what this industry is. I'll tell you one more session I'm really excited about. I hope, listen to a couple of my podcasts like I listen to yours. We have Justin Sessler and I put on the Automotive Advantage. We've been trying to talk about AI and the use in that space for the last year. Justin's actually going to be the moderator of an artificial intelligence keynote. And we have people that have done AI-backed apps. We have people that work with OEMs using AI quality improvement programming. And we are about to announce Ben Schreiner will be on stage. Ben is the head of all artificial intelligence for the Amazon organization. So we have that level of speaker on stage talking about real life issues, politics, the economy, and even AI, and how all of this is going to play into your future, both at an individual level, corporate level, and all the small businesses that listen to you, Rob. We're here to help each and every one of them. And I think you're going to be there too, most importantly. So,
well, I will be there. I think I'm not the most importantly part, but I will be there. And I had an actual line of thinking about AI because I knew some of the topics that were coming, but it's everywhere. So, you were nice enough to let me bring my son last year. He's an aspiring racer. I'll bring him again this year. He's currently using AI to build websites for local companies. He's building in an hour what used to take us 6 months. And he's doing that to raise money for racing. And he's using AI to find the businesses that need his product. Now, in this modern day and age, with the ability to connect with people through LinkedIn and TikTok and Instagram, I do find that a one-on-one personal human being connection like a trade show can give you the advantage now that everybody is skipping. And while this is a big trade show, it's not a big trade show. You will be able to see everything. You will be able to talk to everyone. You'll be able to touch everything. It's not acres and acres and acres of trade show floor where you just can't do it all. You can pull that off. I want to talk about the flip side of it. So specifically on this show, I mean, we have shops, small shops, car builder shops, and we have a lot of enthusiasts. What is the Shop Car Challenge? That is new to me. I don't remember that last year.
Yeah, we're about to announce the Shop Car Challenge. This is the idea came from Justin Keith from Killer Performance. You know him formerly of the Street Car Takeover group. And Justin said, I would go to a trade show if there was an area where I could bring a customer's car and show off the best that my shop can do against other shops. And we took that and we've run with it. So for year one, it'll be a curated group. It'll be an invitation only, very broad. So we don't want 10 Mustang shops, but we would like a Mustang shop. We'd like a Porsche shop. We'd like an off-road shop. We'd like a race shop. A diverse JDM should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
West Coast, East Coast, right? So a great mix of shops that build great vehicles that want to showcase what their customers' vision was and how they brought it to life. It'll be between 5 and 10 shops. We're going to let them vote amongst themselves on which car they like the best, but there's also going to be an audience vote. So if the Mustang team comes out and they want the Mustang shop to win, they're probably going to get the audience choice of who the best shop in the world is. But it's really a chance to see innovation. It's really a chance to get exposed to other segments, Rob, and you're a well-traveled guy. You get around. Some people only go to drifting events, so they only see drift cars.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not see what overlanding trucks are doing. They may not see what pro mod racers are doing in the dirty South, right? So bringing all these segments together at the same time, the same place at the High Performance Expo. Hey, look, the shops are going to have a blast. They're going to be talking smack and pointing things out and helping each other. The audience is going to get the real gift, which is, wow, look at the talent in this industry and look at all the things I can dream about doing with my car someday. That's the Shop Car Challenge.
For the consumer-minded person, so while we do have a number of small businesses in this audience here, we have a lot more consumers. Is there something for a consumer there? Now, I can think of a few things, but it's your show. What would you tell them? Is there something for them to go to an industry trade show like this?
Well, the first caveat is this is a B2B trade show, right? But as you know, this industry is very blurred, and we've got sportsman racers that spend $10 million a year on their sportsman racing program.
Bingo.
If you're a manufacturer and that type of customer, B2C, that type of end consumer comes up to your booth and says, I'd like you to run my engine program, or I'd like you to run my shock program for the next 2 years, buddy, it doesn't matter if you're a consumer or another
Right.
business. You'll book that deal. So with that caveat in mind, and remember, I ran PRI, which has a great attendance of hardcore sportsman racers. Those folks are the buying public, if you will, that a B2B trade show certainly welcomes. So that's my, hey, you're all invited. But look, for a consumer, there's several things. You get to see the manufacturers. And this has been, this is decades old, my friend. You know that. But to see the part and touch the part and actually imagine how it goes on your car or truck is something that we still love to do in this industry. So that is number one. You've got exhibitors, OEMs, manufacturers, all the big names on the floor at the same time. You get to see their parts, see their applications. Then you get to talk to the technical experts that built it, that designed the part. That's huge. Shop Car Challenge is a chance for you to imagine, how can a shop build my car? We have something called the Car Show Collective, which is this great collection of the best car clubs in the area, in the East Coast, coming together. And then there's a little bit of star appeal, right? Like, we had Jeff Gordon walking around on the floor last year. We had Richard Petty walking around on the floor last year. And then we had an endless number of CEOs and company owners that, for me, are celebrities because I love to hear how their businesses are going and what's the next opportunity in the industry. And then I think for younger folks like your son, Rob, our recruiting hub was unbelievable last year. We had several schools, several manufacturers. It was an entire row that led you to the Hendrick display. Oh, by the way, there's jobs available at Rick Hendrick's Hendrick Motorsports group. Bring a resume. Bring a dot card. Bring something, a business card, and get ready to go find your next job in the auto industry. So there's a lot of things for the B2C crowd to take advantage of here.
And I know it's a B2B show, but that was an eye opener for me getting into racing. Is there are a lot of very significant consumers, technically, in the racing industry that in any other world would be business. So,
yeah. Yes.
And,
yes. Yeah. You and I laugh about it, but on the corporate side, you start to realize this and you're like, well, I'm used to talking to NASCAR owners and NASCAR teams. And then you have an entrepreneur that walks up that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This is not an exaggeration for me. When I was selling Copo Camaros, there's no difference, Rob. There's no difference. It's just where the guy or gal spends their time during the day. But they all love racing. They all love modifying cars. They all love accessorizing the latest, greatest new vehicle from their dealer. And that's ultimately what the High Performance Expo is about, bringing all these people together.
Let's talk about Street Car Takeover. So my understanding is that will be a companion component to this year. Is that right? Will it be at zMAX, June 5 and 6?
Yeah, this is amazing, Rob. Have you been to a Street Car Takeover event?
I've only seen it online. No, never been to one.
And that's where they really live, and they grew up out of this 1320 video culture. Remember, they spawned Cletus McFarland, the Street Car Takeover, which was what Cletus came out of. I already mentioned Justin Keith, but the current ownership, Chase Lautenbach and Sam Bennett, and Ryan Otis. I'll give him a shout out because just an awesome team. I just went to the Atlanta Street Car Takeover this past weekend. It was a great event run in conjunction with Ron Moen from Vengeance Racing. And Ron's one of our big exhibitors on the floor, big supporter of High Performance Expo. And now Street Car Takeover has their event scheduled in Charlotte the same week as the High Performance Expo. This is such a big deal, Rob, that the mayor of Charlotte has issued a proclamation. I mean, I can't make this up. It's a marketer's dream that the first week in June will now be Automotive Performance Week in Charlotte.
Hey,
as the honorable mayor has proclaimed. So you'll start your week, Rob, with a welcome get together from the folks from NCMA. You'll get to meet the executives that make that industry go, the motorsports industry in North Carolina. Tuesday will be opening day for the High Performance Expo and all the great stuff we have going on. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we will have heavy Street Car Takeover presence on the floor. You'll see examples of their race cars. Sam is bringing out some crazy stuff. The famous Bandito 69 Camaro that makes something over 5,000 horsepower. You'll see 50 Shades of Brown, another famous street race car, and a large collection of their entourage, the little gangster class, which is blowing up on the East Coast. So examples of those cars. Chase is going to take the stage. He's going to talk about the future of Street Car Takeover, street racing, how to build a multi-million-dollar company with online promotions. And then we're going to leave the floor of the Charlotte Motor Speedway sometime Thursday afternoon, and we're going to head to Concord, which is only like 20 minutes away. You know that. And we're going to go to the Twin Peaks Thursday night opener, which brings in 6,000 to 8,000 cars just at the opener, Rob. And then Friday and Saturday, we'll be racing at zMAX, 4-wide drag race. Remember, Rob, at zMAX.
Yeah,
And they have north of 30, 40,000. That's a real number from Greg Walter, the president of the Charlotte Motor Speedway Group. They own zMAX. And we'll have over 40,000 fans at that event. So it's an entire automotive performance week in Charlotte the first week in June. Rob, don't miss it. Don't miss it, Rob.
I won't. I'll be there. I think I have to be, but I would be anyway.
Yeah, I think you're under contract to be. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I want to end with this. You do have a show. You have a podcast, the Automotive Advantage, and I do listen. Actually, I watch. And you've had a lot of guests on, and you've covered a lot of topics. The one maybe it's 5 or 6 months ago with David Freiberger was definitely one that was listened to a couple 3 times. And this audience will relate well to Finnegan and Freiberger. That's their guys. And we have Finnegan on this show all the time, but Freiberger's only been on once. What he did with you was a peek under the hood of total honesty. And it was interesting because the both of you had a relationship when you were both with major corporations. And now you're both independent and doing your own thing. And in David's case, he doesn't have the power of the media Goliath behind him anymore. He's fighting for the same scraps we all are. And he's finding a way to do that. And luckily, he has a large background on that. Why did you start the Automotive Advantage? Because I see a lot of themes and discussions and lines of thinking in that show that I frankly see in the High Performance Expo.
Well, thank you for being a listener and watching the podcast that we put on YouTube. Automotive Advantage really an extension of what Justin and I were doing, I would say, as side hustles, right? Just trying to dig in and find other business opportunities in the automotive aftermarket. And they're out there, Rob. Look at you. Look at the podcasting empire that you've built out of a labor of love. For me, the way that our show is set up is, after the first day of a trade show and you're at the restaurant or the bar with your group of people and you're sharing what you learned that day, and maybe somebody invited somebody you don't know and they're talking about their business.
Mm-hmm.
We want the Automotive Advantage to be that conversation every week where our listeners can tune in and they can get what we call an unfair advantage in this industry by having access to people that we think help lift everybody's game by sharing their story. David did a huge favor to come on one of the early episodes. The timing was right. And I think that was recorded in August. I think, to your point, David really wanted to tell his story about breaking out and doing his own thing and some of his early learnings. I will tell you, he doesn't need the corporate backing anymore. David Freiberger is his own brand, and he's a monster in the industry, just like Finnegan. I love both those guys. And my background with GM, I was able to work with them on several projects through the years, and that's why we have that camaraderie. But you are always welcome to come on. I would love to ask you questions about all of the millions of dollars you make as a podcaster doing this all these years, and how you built this empire, and get all the secrets out of you, Rob. So yeah, you're always welcome on my show, pal.
Yeah, if I were to do that, I will walk you through why not to do this today. It wouldn't work today. You shouldn't launch this business today. It doesn't work today. It only works because of the enormous history that it was built upon. But if you're starting from today, I wouldn't do this at all. I would do something entirely different. But a lot of us would, right? A lot
No,
of
but a lot of people rely on you. I think, and because they listen to you, Rob, when people see you or interact with you or call you, they've already got an ongoing conversation. They already know you. They already have something on their mind about something you've said. And for me, that's been the big advantage that Automotive Advantage has given me, is that it's just a way to reach people. And the way the fractured media is around this industry, around every industry now,
mm-hmm.
connecting with people is very challenging. And again, to put a bow on the High Performance Expo, that's your chance as an industry to come together, to see real people, see real projects, and maybe take some of the social media filters out of the way, and you get to see things, you get to experience them, and then you get to interact and choose, how that's going to affect your life.
For you 30 to 40% of our audience that are small business owners, I would just come here and listen to all the classes. Soak it up. It's the cheapest education you're going to get. Probably best of the year. That would be my quick advice to all of you. Jamie, how do people register and sign up and learn more?
Well, look, we want to invite everybody, especially those small business owners. And I think, Rob, one of the challenges for small business owners, they don't have the time, right? That's what you'll hear them say to you and me for years. I just don't have time, especially the first week in June. I would argue you have to make time to figure out how to make the next phase of your business successful. And that's how we've designed the High Performance Expo. And get registered at thehpx.com. Registration is open. Exhibitor space is much bigger than last year. And we are registering attendees right now. And look, with the Street Car Takeover, with the Shop Car Challenge, with a Performance Plus competition that you're going to be a part of, this is going to be a landmark show, and everybody's invited.
Dr. Jamie, appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in person again. And it would be nice to actually have a beer this time. So let's do that too.
All right. We're going to schedule dinner or lunch or something, and we get to hang out. But I appreciate your support. I've been a fan of yours for many years, and I appreciate what you do for this industry, pal. I really mean that.
You helped me out, my first big interview, and something in the recording failed, and we had to do it twice. And it was the scariest thing that I had to do, to reach out and tell you, I'm pretty sure I failed here. Can I do it again? And you gave me no grief. Your co-host did.
Well, these things happen, but I understand. And I'm glad you're still here. You know that. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Catch you later.